everyone, this is Melinda Lesnowitz and I'm with Keep Toledo Lucas County Beautiful, and today I am going to show you what happens to all that paper that we just recycled. So in front of me you will see my very own paper factory. This is a smaller classroom size model of what happens to your paper when it's recycled. So I'm going to show you how it's done. So we can do this project with any type of paper. We can use, I like to use colored paper. I'm going to use some blue and some yellow paper today. After you choose your paper, you can use white paper, you can use newspaper, any type of paper you'd like, but in a minute you'll see why I chose these two colors. After you choose your paper, the next thing you need to do is to tear your paper into little tiny pieces about the size of your thumbnail. So we are going to tear our paper, but I've already done that for you today. So we need to fill up a little size bathroom cup filled with paper. And as you can see in there, I have my yellow and my blue paper all torn up into little tiny pieces. So now we're going to blend it up. We need to make some paper pulp. We're going to pour all of our paper pieces, so step number 2, into our blender here. But to our blender and to our paper, we need to add some water. About 2 cups of water would be good. Just enough for the paper to start floating. Now we're going to go ahead and blend up the paper, but since we're recycling our own paper, why not make it a little bit sparkly and make our own paper by adding glitter to it. I'm going to add as much as you want. I love glitter. I'm going to add a lot. So we're going to go ahead and mix it up, but very important step you do not want to forget, and that is the top. Otherwise, if we press it now, everything inside is going to splatter outside, makes a big mess. So very, very important step. Make sure that top goes on. To start the blender, you want it about on high speed, and we want to do it for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and press it and count to 30, and then we'll see what happens. Remember, we used yellow and blue paper. There we go. I did it for 30 seconds, so we kind of in video land made it go a little bit faster. So you can see the yellow and the blue made our paper green, because yellow and blue make green. So kind of fun. If you like to use 2 different colors of paper, you can do some color mixing. This is our paper pulp. Doesn't quite look like paper yet though, so we're going to go on to our next station here in our paper factory. And for this one, I'm reusing some old cans. I'll show you how it's set up in just a minute, but while we're waiting, I'm going to pour all my pulp into this can. And you might be able to hear that dripping noise. And what's happening for this project, we are reusing some cans. This top can here is an old soup can or tomato can. You can use whatever you have around the house, but cut out the bottom of it. And then underneath that is another larger can. This one was an old meatball can that I'm using. So you need one larger one, one smaller one. And what's happening now, underneath that are 2 screens. There's a screen with larger holes in it. That's our support screen. And then the screen on top is allowing the water to go through, but the paper will stay on top. So we're just about ready to see what happens. As I take this off, we'll see what happens. I'm going to take it off. And look at that. Our paper took the shape of a can, and it's in the shape of a circle. There's still quite a bit of water in it. So we're going to put this screen on top. This is the same kind of screen that's in your doors and your windows, and place it on top. We need to get some of the water out, so we are going to take a sponge and press down. This is pushing the water through the screens, and the sponge is also absorbing the water. So you may need to wring out your sponge a couple of times to get all that water out. And that's why I have my cans in a bucket here, so we don't make a mess. So you want to do that a couple times. Squeeze out that water. Press some more. And let's see what it looks like so far. We'll take off just our top screen here and look at that. You can see the sparkles in there and the glitter. So we're going to take our recycled paper and leave it on the screen. And I have with me some old newspaper that I'm going to use to absorb some of the excess water. So I'll place that right there. To that, we are going to take a folded paper towel and place it on top. And then we're going to use a block. And this is where you're going to press really hard. And this is getting your paper nice and thin and getting most of the water out. So press, use those arm muscles and press as much as you can. You can see the newspaper absorb some of the water. The paper towel absorbed some of the water. And now this recycled paper should peel right off. And this is your recycled paper. Now it does need to dry overnight or for about 24 hours. So you want to let it lay flat until it's dry. But once it's all dry, here's some finished samples that we have. You can use your recycled paper and use your crayons, markers, pencils, and write on it just as you would for a brand new piece of paper. You could even, instead of adding glitter to it, this bookmark here has seeds in it, flower seeds. And we all know the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle. Of course, we can't forget the 4th one, and remember to read. So with this bookmark, you could plant it when we're all done reading a book, or when it gets kind of dirty, and plant it, and then you have beautiful flowers from it because the seeds were planted inside. So that is how your paper is recycled. That's what happens when all your paper is not thrown away. Not only are we helping to save the environment, we're especially helping to save all of our trees. So remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle.